In Part 1 of the form, applicants are required to fill in their basic personal information, including Chinese and English name and title, correspondence and email address, year of birth, Hong Kong ID card number, telephone number, marital status, and ethnicity, etc. Please note the following points when filling in the information. First of all, when filling in your English name, please use block letters. Write the surname starting from the first box and leave a space between each word. The SFO may contact the applicant when necessary. Therefore, applicants must provide the correct correspondence and email addresses. If the applicant changes the relevant information after submitting the application form, please notify the SFO in writing as soon as possible. The notification should be duly signed by the applicant with the application number or Hong Kong ID card number of the applicant provided. If the applicant does not reside in Hong Kong, please provide the contact address in Hong Kong for future correspondence. Please fill in the Hong Kong ID card number according to the format on the form. If the applicant is not a holder of Hong Kong ID card, please fill in the item of other identity document type using the codes shown on the screen and provide the relevant identity document number. These codes can also be found in the Notes on How to Complete and Return Household Application Form. After that, please write down the Hong Kong mobile phone number so that the SFO can issue notifications by means of SMS, such as acknowledgement of receipt of applications or notifications on payment. If home telephone number is available, please also provide it in the form. Here, applicants are required to fill in the marital status in the assessment year. If the applicant is married, please put a tick in the box next to item A and provide information of the applicant's spouse in Part 2 of the form. If the applicant is a single parent during the assessment year, please add a tick in the box next to item B and delete the inapplicable status. If there is any change in the marital status after the assessment period, you may provide the details in Part 7 of the form. If applicants need a paper-based application form in the next school year, please put a tick in the box of item 11. To facilitate application and for environmental protection, the SFO encourages the use of electronic application. Applicants who have not marked a tick in this box will not receive the paper-based pre-printed application form in the next school year, but will be given an access code for getting the pre-filled electronic application form online and other relevant information. Therefore, applicants should remember to fill in the email address for receiving the access code. For Part 2 of the application form, applicants should fill in the particulars of the applicant's family members and the financial assistance schemes being applied for. Applicants are required to fill in particulars of the spouse of the applicant in Item A of Part 2. Same as Part 1, the applicant is required to fill in the Chinese and English names, year of birth, Hong Kong ID card number, or information of other identity document, and the Hong Kong mobile phone number of the spouse. For Item B of Part 2, the applicant is required to provide particulars of student applicants and unmarried children residing with the family, starting from the youngest child. In addition to name, date of birth, and identity document number, it is also necessary to indicate whether the children concerned are under education in the assessment year in Item 5. If the applicant needs to apply for financial assistance for the pre-primary, primary, or secondary students for his or her children under education, please fill in the name of school, institution, class level, and mode of study, and tick Need, and select the student financial assistance schemes being applied for in Item 9. If unmarried children residing with the family are studying at tertiary institution in the school year of application, please check the box Do Not Need in Item 9. Please refer to the screen for the codes for filling in class level in Item 7. These codes are also listed in the Notes on How to Complete and Return Household Application Form. If there are more than 4 unmarried children residing with the family, please supplement information of the remaining unmarried child or children by appending a separate sheet with the applicant's signature. If you are a continuing applicant using the light yellow pre-printed form, please check the pre-printed data of your child or children. If there are more than 4 unmarried children residing with you, please verify the data of the children pre-printed on the supplementary information sheet of the household application form. In addition, for continuing applicants, the SFO has pre-printed the term time residential address of the student who has successfully applied for Student Travel Subsidy, STS, in the preceding school year on the supplementary form SFO 283E. If you wish to continue to apply for STS, please verify the pre-printed data. If any amendment to the address is required, please provide the student's term time residential address in full by filling in the boxes provided on the right-hand side. Please remember to sign and fill in the date at the bottom of the supplementary form and send it to the SFO together with the application form. Applicants applying for fee remission for student applicants aged 0 to 3 receiving whole-day childcare services in childcare centers should complete the Social Needs Assessment Form SFO 235A, which can be downloaded from the website of WFSFAA. Applicants should submit the completed Social Needs Assessment Form together with supporting documents and the application form to the SFO for processing. Item C of Part 2 is about the Family-Based Subsidy for Internet Access Charges, SIA. The SFO has assumed that the applicant's family needs the subsidy, but it is only applicable to families with primary and secondary students and have passed the means test. Applicants who need SIA should leave the box of Do Not Need blank. If the applicant's family does not need the SIA, please put a tick in the box of Do Not Need. If the applicant's family has dependent parents, please fill in Item D of Part 2. Who can be counted as dependent parents? The father or mother of the applicant or the applicant's spouse will be counted if the father or mother is not a recipient of the Comprehensive Social Security Assistance, CSSA, at the time of submission of application and is not in employment during the assessment year, and meet any one of the following conditions for at least 6 months throughout the assessment year, namely resided with the applicant's family or resided in the premises owned or rented by the applicant or his or her spouse, or resided in an elderly home and the expenses were fully paid by the applicant or his or her spouse, or totally supported by the applicant or his or her spouse. Please note that the applicant or his or her spouse should continue to support their parent in this school year, and the form of support should be similar to that in the year of assessment. As the number of family members may affect directly the level of assistance the applicant's family is eligible for, the applicant should provide supporting documents such as tenancy agreement, residential address proof, or receipt of the home for the elderly, etc. for assessment. If your family has no dependent parents who meet the above definition, please leave this section blank. If the parent of the applicant or the spouse is a recipient of the CSSA at the time of submission of application and/or in employment during the assessment year and hence does not meet the definition of dependency, please put a tick in the box next to Yes. If your family has more than 2 dependent parents, please supplement their information by appending a separate sheet with the applicant's signature.